Hello, everyone. Welcome to Science Systems and Applications Incorporated, also known by our acronym SSAI's live podcast episode. I am your host, Jason Dietrich from the SSAI Communications Department. As we always say at SSAI, the future is grand, and we want to share with you what we are doing to ensure that happens. I just wanted to thank you all so much for listening in to our conversation today. If you are curious about what we've been up to, please make sure that you follow us on each of our social media platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, and our YouTube channel. Please also check out our website. We have job openings in a variety of different fields, and if you are passionate about science, exploration, and humankind, SSAI is the place for you. All the links for each of our social media handles will be provided right down below in the description of this video. Please check each of these links out, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and engage with us via your questions about what SSAI is currently doing. All our managers, scientists, engineers, educators, and technicians are an important part of the SSAI community of rock stars. They are doing amazing work and contributing to many different initiatives, like at NASA, among many others, to help benefit humankind. Speaking of educators, we have two rock star guests joining me today. One of them is Tina Harte-Ballinger, who is the SSAI Group Manager at NASA Goddard HBG, who leads various aspects of STEM education and outreach, particularly with GLOBE and the Globe Goes to Camp project. Our other SSAI employee joining us is Amy Ellisor, who is the STEM Outreach Coordinator for the Globe Goes to Camp project. Thank you both so much for taking time out of your very busy schedules to talk with me today. How are you all doing today?
Doing very well.
Awesome. Well, as we like to say at SSAI, it's a great day at SSAI, right?
Absolutely.
So each of you are associated with NASA's Globe Goes to Camp project representing SSAI. And for those of you who might not know what Globe Goes to Camp is, it is one of the projects that make up GLOBE. GLOBE stands for the Global Learning and Observation to Benefit the Environment. GLOBE is an international environmental science and education program that provides students and the public worldwide with the opportunity to participate in data collection and the scientific process while contributing meaningfully to our understanding of the Earth system and global environment. So now, Tina and Amy, I would like to ask each of you some questions in relation to your work. One at a time. The first question I wanted to ask was to please tell the audience a little bit about yourself and state your role associated with SSAI and the Globe Goes to Camp project. Tina, would you mind starting us off?
Sure, Jason. Thank you. As you mentioned, I am group manager and I oversee several of SSAI STEM education and outreach efforts that we have under HBG contract at NASA Goddard. And in addition to that, I'm also the main contact for the SSAI Globe Partnership, which was just founded a little over a year ago. And I'm also a Globe Protocol trainer and the project manager for Globe Goes to Camp. That's a project that I founded in 2018. Then prior to coming to Team SSAI, as I like to call it, in 2012, I was a middle school math and science teacher for 18 years. And I actually had my very first interview with SSAI from my classroom during my planning period. And that was in April of 2012. And since that time, I've worked extensively with STEM education in both the formal and informal, providing professional development at the local, regional, and national levels. And recently, I have the potential of international outreach in support of SSAI as well, hopefully in the near future. I've also served as the chair of the Globe United States Partner Forum for the past 4 years. And one of the things that I like to focus all of the work that I do is I strive to support SSAI's corporate initiative of giving back to our community through equitable STEM engagement opportunities for those that need that little extra boost that we can give them.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible, Tina. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your background and your experience, especially with having a SSAI interview from your teaching classroom. So hopefully you did not have any students walking in or like interrupting your interview during that time. Is that correct?
That is correct. I actually had my door closed and no one bothered me.
Fantastic. Well, I was going to say that that's definitely an incredible story. Thank you, Tina, for sharing about your background. Amy, I'm going to turn it over to you. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and state your role associated with SSAI and the Globe Goes to Camp project?
Sure. Thanks, Jason. I'm Amy Ellisor, and I work under Tina as the Globe Goes to Camp outreach coordinator. I also began my career as an educator, worked with elementary, middle, and even college students over the course of 27 years. So I was trained in Globe in 1995 as a part of earning my master's degree. And I've worked as a Globe educator initially in traditional classroom settings. And then in 2018, I shifted to outdoor education. I became the executive director of Camp Discovery, an environmental ed nonprofit. And I had the opportunity to work with Tina to create and develop the first NASA Globe Goes to Camp model site. It was just absolutely phenomenal work where students and families would get to go out and do things in such an authentic fashion and really feel like they were part of a larger purpose. And so in December of 2021, I received a phone call driving down the road to pick up my child from college that excited me so much that literally I had to pull off to the side. And like Tina's interview in her classroom, Tina was calling to offer me a full-time job with SSAI. And this job has become the most fulfilling of my entire life, not just my career, but my life. The work that we're doing, it centers around the most creative and innovative and meaningful teaching and learning that I've ever had the fortune to lead. Working for so many years in so many different settings and education with different populations of children, this works for every child because it absolutely sets them on fire with confidence. So I absolutely love it.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible, Amy. And, you know, in relation to your story of you getting your full-time job offer with SSAI from Tina, that's just, you know, very inspiring and very motivating. And hopefully you didn't crash. Is that correct?
I did not crash. I still relive that moment in my head with just about as much enthusiasm. But no, I did not crash. I knew that it was big and I didn't really believe it. So I pulled over and I asked her about 3 or 4 times if she was telling me the truth. But no, I safely accepted.
That is awesome. Wow. And, you know, I was going to say, Tina and Amy, I remember when I was offered not just the communications intern position, but when I was promoted to full-time status, actually on my birthday of this year, January 26th of 2024. Like you, Amy, I was in shock. I didn't believe it. I just was filled with so many emotions, but you know, it's just incredible and an honor to be a part of this family as well. So thank you, Tina and Amy, so much for introducing yourselves and sharing your role associated with SSAI and the Globe Goes to Camp project. Now, the Globe Goes to Camp project is not only exciting and innovative from what I've been reading, but it's also helping to revolutionize data observations that we collect about planet Earth, like you both have said, and it's going to lead to many more scientific discoveries. Currently, there are 127 countries involved with the GLOBE program and over 248 million measurements that have been taken. This program has grown since it was originally founded in 1995, and it continues to grow through scientific innovation, engagement, and discovery. And I wanted to transition into asking each of you some different questions in relation to your role with the Globe Goes to Camp project. Amy, I'm going to start off with you by asking this first question. In your role as a STEM outreach coordinator for the Globe Goes to Camp project, how do you effectively engage and inspire young minds in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? And can you share some success stories or memorable moments from your experience in promoting STEM education through the work you have done at SSAI?
Well, absolutely. First of all, it's really, really easy. By supporting Globe Goes to Camp, SSAI enables me to take summer campers and students into very deep, exciting learning experiences where, just like scientists and mathematicians, they are given the responsibility to observe, to explore, to think, and to communicate in that same important and standardized way that professionals do in math and science. So the inquiry-based nature of the GLOBE program is in itself motivating and meaningful for students. No matter where they are, if they're in the classroom, if they're at school, outside, they're at a summer camp, or even at a community event, by being part of GLOBE, they know that they are doing the important work of being a citizen scientist. So these children are outside, they are making cloud observations, they are doing tree health checkups, they're doing water quality testing, they're studying land cover, air temperature, surface temperature, and all in the same exact way as folks that are doing GLOBE all over, as you mentioned early, in 127 countries, in the same method. And while they're doing that, they know that they are a part on the ground of supporting NASA's missions with their ground truth observations. So the satellites cannot see the boots on the ground perspective. And so the students add to the success of the data collection, and they feel great pride and develop confidence knowing that they have made these authentic contributions. And you are asking for a story, a success story. Well, there are a lot of them, but one of the students we're currently working with, been working with him, he's a 5th grader now, came into Globe Goes to Camp in 4th grade. And he was one of those students that spent some time under the AP's desk when he would have a hard time getting settled down in class. And he has recently received, for the whole school district he attends, the District Turnaround Award for being the most improved elementary student in the district. And he is so proud, and he is such a leader in the program. So that's just one of many examples, but the students come in and, you know, they've never really been given this freedom to think as much and to, you know, be able to delve off into their own little investigations and have autonomy and ownership. And the confidence is boosted just more than I could ever describe to you.
Wow, that's just absolutely incredible. I get a little misty-eyed, you know, hearing that story of that one student that you were working with, and how you were able to inspire and, you know, motivate him in a different avenue, particularly with STEM. And it really touches me deeply, because I know my grandmother was a teacher 50, 60 years ago. And as we all very well know, it was a different time compared to now. There wasn't a pandemic like there was a couple of years ago. So we definitely understand like how stressful it is for teachers, you know, nowadays, especially with getting past the pandemic, you know, getting everybody back on track. And we really acknowledge and appreciate all the great work that teachers are doing so far. So just wanted to give that quick little shout out there. And, you know, I remember back when I was in middle school, I was introduced to STEM topics like astronomy, chemistry, and environmental science. And, you know, Amy, I remember as soon as I was introduced to these STEM topics, I was immediately hooked. And I realized that STEM helps to provide multiple different highways of opportunity and engagement for anyone. And in STEM, like you both are doing, you are promoting hands-on learning. Because nowadays, I think that we all can agree that the traditional methods of paper, pencil, textbook, and rote memorization doesn't work anymore. hands-on learning, through that process, you can get accustomed to the engineering design process and the scientific method steps. It's always important that if you get an idea, try it out and make sure you're following up with the appropriate steps correctly. And if it doesn't work, keep trying. Don't give up. So that is definitely something that is, very encouraging for all of you listeners who are listening to take into account. And Amy, I also wanted to follow up with you by asking you this question as well. As the Globe Outreach Coordinator for the Globe Goes to Camp program and SSAI, you play a critical role in guiding and supporting camp directors. Can you share some insights into the challenges and rewards of mentoring individuals and creating impactful STEM experiences for campers?
Yes. So I believe very strongly in the power of mentoring. I've had mentors all along the way to help convince me that I could do things that I had no idea I could do. But Tina and I have created a group of Globe Goes to Camp mentor directors. So these leaders have multiple years of implementing Globe in their camp settings, and the camps are a variety of sizes, there are a variety of locations, and there are a variety of types of camps. So since we do have our project all across the United States, we have mentors across different time zones and different regions, which allows for small group collaboration as well as pulling together for project-wide collaboration. Knowing that sometimes if you're in a different time zone or just with busy schedules of being a camp director, we feel like we have kind of eliminated some of those challenges of the time and the proximity, which is a huge bonus. I know when I was a new camp director, I had several people that I would just use as sounding boards, and our mentors do that for folks coming in new and acclimating to implementing Globe in whichever way is best for their camp and their campers. So as a former camp director, I guide the mentors in assisting the new camps and selecting activities, using resources and identifying strategies that, again, serve their unique camp population. The mentors also get together to do brainstorming, collaborative planning, and work to create community engagement events, and even stretch as far as to have Globe Goes to Camp year-round in developing camp-to-school partnerships serving students in field studies.
Wow, that's absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing your philosophy in regards to mentoring. And Tina and Amy, in my honest opinion, I think it's important for everybody to have some sort of mentor. And a great mentor must be trustworthy, caring, honest, and even pushes you to reach for the stars. Once you find that person, the sky is the limit. You're going to run into bumps along the way in your journey, but it's important to enjoy your journey and celebrate your achievements that come your way. And achieving any dream that you have, for those viewers who are listening, it takes time, and it's important to remain patient and to also keep going. Tina, I'm going to now transition over to you and ask you a follow-up question. Since you are the project manager for the Globe Goes to Camp project, what key skills and strategies do you emphasize to ensure that camp directors can effectively integrate Globe protocols and inspire a love for science among the camp participants?
One of the things that we work really hard to do is to make sure that the overarching principle of providing inquiry-based learning opportunities for campers and students is fundamental to all of the Globe programs and the camp project that we're working with. And so we really encourage our camp directors to become a facilitator of learning rather than the dictator of learning. Our Globe Goes to Camp protocol trainings include strategies that provide camp directors and their staff with resources that they can establish those open-ended learning investigations for their campers, encouraging their campers to ask questions, And when given that opportunity to engage in an authentic learning experience, we find that campers have the ability to have a greater sense of ownership in their own learning, especially when they have the ability to make self-directed choices. When they get particularly interested in one of the areas of data that they're collecting, we ask our camp directors, pause, don't particularly just go down the path that you intended, but follow up with that has sparked their curiosity and their interest. In support of the GLOBE protocols, we do provide training to ensure that they know how to collect the data, that they're collecting it in the same manner that everyone else is collecting, as you mentioned before, in all the different countries around the world. And to kind of help guide them, we have developed learning guides for our outdoor education centers as well as our camps. And, we say that they're kind of a menu of options. You don't have to complete the entire guide, but you can pick from it. However, if you're new to Camp World or you're new to GLOBE, it does provide some step-by-step guidance, kind of just assessing the comfort level of the person that's implementing the program. And so within that guide, we have the protocol, how to collect the data, a list of the materials that they'll need for doing the various components of the guide. We provide them with learning activities that support the content development associated with the protocol, so that the facilitator isn't having to deliver a lecture, but instead the campers engage in an activity. We also want to ensure that we include art and music and movement for personal expression in all of our guides, because a lot of our campers are, they want to be busy, they want to be moving, they enjoy those different aspects. And so we want to make sure that camp is camp and not just another replay of school. And then we also provide a selection of children's literature. Who doesn't love, sitting down with a piece of literature that sparks interest and encourages the children to observe the world around them. And everything that we do, we align with the next generation science standards as well, especially for those that are involved in our campus school partnerships.
Wow, that is just absolutely incredible. And I love, Tina, how you mentioned you like to bring in art and music into the learning as well, because I know, Tina and Amy, I have experience as a musician. Like, I participated in musicals when I was in high school, and, I acted in shows a little bit in college, not too much because of, how busy my schedule was. But, the arts are a part of STEM too, to make it STEAM, if you will. That's definitely the growing trend that is spreading now, and it should be spreading. And, I loved, Tina, too, how you mentioned about, project-based learning. And, again, from my experiences with STEM, I love that STEM is so hands-on, because believe it or not, my middle school teachers helped me to discover that with STEM, I don't have a disability like I was perceived early on in elementary school. I have a superpower because I have hyperlexia, which is a form of autism. And even though I struggled early on in my educational journey with reading comprehension, I never gave up, and I worked very hard to get to where I am today. And again, everybody has a superpower, and SSAI is definitely helping many people around the globe to discover their true gift. And I know, Tina and Amy, you both are doing the same with the Globe Goes to Camp project. So it's just absolutely incredible. And Tina, this leads me to my final question that I wanted to ask you. And the question was, as the SSAI group manager at NASA Goddard HBG, your role encompasses various aspects of STEM education and outreach, like you said. You recently presented at SSAI's Hampton Open House event earlier in January this year at SSAI's new office building in Hampton, Virginia. You spoke about formal education STEM training. My question is, how do you approach the integration of these diverse initiatives to create a cohesive and impactful STEM education strategy? And can you share examples of how these programs complement each other, which helps to contribute to a holistic STEM learning ecosystem for participants?
Absolutely. There are fundamental needs that you need to have met, regardless of what type of activity learning activity you're participating in. And so, regardless of the setting, they all need to be active participants. And all of the programs that we offer in STEM education, we incorporate an active part, an active role for the participant. Whether it's a hike through the woods where we're making observations, or whether it's a land cover, Lego activity that we're doing, everyone in all of our learning experiences are actively participating. Not only do they need to actively participate in the learning, they need to be provided with a safe space. They need to know that it's okay to explore, it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to ask questions, it's okay to be wrong and to make discoveries. I remind them all the time that, the light bulb took many, many, many tries, and everything that NASA is doing with their missions, a lot of times, they make mistakes and they have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what was going on. So a safe space to learn and to be who they are. In STEM education and its initiatives, all start by recognizing the basic needs of all learners and developing the strategies that meet them where they are and taking them beyond what they thought possible. This is how one works to create a cohesive and impactful STEM education strategy. And through this, we hope to establish strong community-based STEM learning ecosystems where everyone in the community is contributing to some element of STEM, to some element of the globe experience. You have business leaders in your community that you can engage. You have various educational aspects within the community. Everybody working together to make sure we're meeting the needs of the whole learner. As a result of the open house, I had lots of different organizations that reached out, libraries, schools, outdoor education, all of these which make up a variety of opportunities for our learners in our local communities. We work with the Hampton City Schools, doing globe trainings for them and providing them with resources. We go to the Hero Kids Foundation, which is in Suffolk, and do globe camp experiences for our servicemen, families and women, and our police officers, all of our heroes. We do some things for them, and we're even reaching out to our homeschool communities. So it's considering the learner from all angles and putting that together to make sure that they are comfortable in that learning setting.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And Tina, your analogy of looking at every single angle to combine, the learning experiences together for that learner, that is right on the mark. Because, we all can agree on this, that every learner learns in different ways and at different rates. So it is incredibly important that each and every single one of us, regardless of what career or, what area we are in, we have to make sure that we address their needs, and we have to make sure that we help them to grow their skill sets even further. And like you said, Tina, don't be afraid to make a mistake, and don't be afraid to fail. A lot of people are afraid of failure because they think that it's the end. And no, it's not the end. That is definitely something, again, for you viewers listening in as well. And we can't stress that enough. Don't be afraid to make a mistake when you're trying something new, because you can actually, believe it or not, you might actually learn more from your mistakes compared to if you get it right the first time. So that is definitely something that, is very important for you all to consider. And again, we at SSAI, we promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility access to make everyone feel welcome and make everyone's voices heard. And I know I am just incredibly grateful myself to be a member of SSAI. And I'm also grateful for the work that you, Tina and Amy, are contributing to in order to expand the amount of impact SSAI makes on various STEM initiatives, especially with the Globe Goes to Camp project. Tina and Amy, I just wanted to thank you both again so much for joining me today and taking time out of your very busy schedules to talk about the exciting Globe Goes to Camp project. You both are truly rock star educators who are making an impact and difference globally, and everyone is going to benefit from this continued STEM outreach. Please definitely keep us posted about the continued great STEM work that you both are doing with the Globe Goes to Camp project, and we can't wait to further highlight that work.
Thank you so much, Jason, for the opportunity to talk with you today and share about the work we do.
Thank you, Jason. It was a real pleasure.
At SSAI, we believe the best way to obtain knowledge is to pass it on. So again, for those of you who are curious about what SSAI has been up to, please make sure that you follow us on each of our social media platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, and our brand new YouTube channel. Please also check out our website so you can stay up to date on many missions and initiatives like the Globe Goes to Camp program and project that SSAI supports. We have job openings in a variety of different fields, and if you are passionate about science, exploration, and humankind, SSAI is the place for you. In addition, if you want to learn more about the Globe Goes to Camp project or to apply to send your child to this camp, please check out the link in the video description below for more information. Also, be sure to engage with us via social media with your questions and comments about this podcast. We want to hear from you. Your voice and ideas matter. Thank you to those of you who have already subscribed to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media already. Please continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to each of our social media platforms to see all the global STEM initiatives SSAI is involved in. Again, I am your host, Jason Dietrich, SSAI Communications Department member, and thank you all so much for joining. We hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day, and please be on the lookout for our next podcast episode. Until next time, everyone, cheers.